All right, folks, what's going on? Hope you're all doing well. It's another iteration of the Calcio Podcast. Sam Adamo coming at you. Still called the Calcio Podcast for now. I think I might have had like a moment of divine inspiration today. I think I thought of what the new title of the pod might have to be. But we'll see. We got to play around on YouTube and we're going to try to target a niche, I believe it's what they call it first. So we'll see how that goes. Hope you're all doing well. Sam Adamo coming at you. It's another episode of the pod. We've done over 200 of these, but it's the first one in full on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. I'm told that swearing in the first 5 minutes is very bad for business. So we'll try not to. We'll see how well that goes. But yeah, we've been doing this for a number of years. The pod's been going on for a little while. Most listeners are already aware of this, but there might be some people tuning in for the first time here who might have discovered this if we do our job well and do the search engine optimization thing correctly. I don't know. Is talking about search engine optimization going to help us get better search engine optimization results? I don't know. But so the pod's been going on for a little while. We do a lot of Italian football, some just, world football, soccer, other stupidities, Italian culture, society at large. Pod may be changing titles over time, but for now it's still the Calcio Podcast. We're now finally on YouTube, so if you're listening to this in your car, just check it out on YouTube, see how it looks, see if you like it, give us a sub. I think that's what they say in the business. Give us a sub and like it or whatever you're supposed to do. So we got a producer now. We got producer D'Lo in the studio. Very happy about that. He'll be monitoring things, making sure everything goes well. Really my audience of one. Unclear how much you'll be entitled to speak, but let's throw it over to you with a question first. Who are you? What's your background? What are you hoping to gain from this whole experience, sir?
Another Italian Canadian from around the same area as Sam. Don't really have too much experience with podcasting, but
none. This is a marriage of convenience.
Yeah.
This is a marriage of convenience. You're here because you're close. And because you're shorter than me, so I'm not intimidated by you. So I know, this is so I could physically dominate you if necessary. If
let's hope we don't get there.
If you get a little too rowdy, I can physically manipulate you as I see fit. We're not the same weight class, and that's hard because I'm not a big guy. So that's it. So we're starting off with a little degradation, That's how we're just.
That's how friendships start.
I'm just asserting dominance on you from the get go. So, dude, I don't know if I told you this. I definitely didn't tell you this. I gave you a test. I issued a test. We actually met a few weeks ago after we had spoken on the phone, and I was like, hey, let's see where this goes. I'd be down to meet you in person and kind of make sure that you're not a psychopath or anything.
I have no clue where this is going, by the way.
So we met up.
Very interested.
So we met up
at to see what test you did.
Well, we met up at a cafe, and I wanted to throw you off a little bit just to make sure you wouldn't get. I wanted to make sure you wouldn't get thrown off. So I put a pair of socks in my pants where my cock would be to make it look like I had a big bulge, just to really throw you off. Just because I would walk in.
You did this at Milano's.
I did this at Milano, yeah, and I don't have it in now. And I was like, I want to fucking really throw this guy off and see if he fucking if it just rattles his game. He's gonna be like, this is.
I did not notice.
Yeah, bro. I wanted to fucking see. I wanted to see if you would be thrown off your game. If you'd be like, who is this guy fucking walking in, swinging his dick? Dude, Conor McGregor walked into the fucking cafe.
The first thing you did when you walked in was slit.
I did. That's true. So the whole thing just went, like I thought I was just gonna alpha assert like dominance on you and be like, let's see if this kid can handle the heat. And I just walked in like a goof and fucking almost slipped and broke my neck walking into the fucking cafe. So, and I immediately realized this is a terrible idea. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now. I don't know what I'm doing. What's going on? Because I heard Andrew.
What were your intentions? Like,
I wanted to throw you off a little bit,
okay.
And I wanted you to be a little intimidated and be like, whoa, who is this guy? And see if you could still kind of handle, a normal conversation with this like monstrosity just clearly, in the frame. Yeah, because I heard Andrew Dice Clay told Sebastian Maniscalco when he was opening for Dice, like before Maniscalco was really famous, he said, think you should put a pair of socks in your pants, and you should like be a guy with a big cock. I think it would work. So that's where I got the idea, and I had heard it, and I was like, I'm gonna throw this guy off, and I'm gonna see if he could fucking handle it, because I don't think he realizes how fucking nuts I am, and I'll tell him down the line that I did this if he passes the test.
No, now that you're saying that, it's pretty crazy. Like,
yeah, it's a little nuts. It's I didn't know how well it would go. I didn't know if it was a good idea or not. It feels a little crazy to admit, but I
didn't notice. But if I did notice, I don't know. How would I have reacted if I did notice?
I just wanted to make clear. Yeah. Like this, I didn't know if you were like gonna be a prick.
Okay.
I thought like this. Eventually, I was like, okay, he's cool, but I thought maybe this guy's like gonna try to fucking strong arm me or something. I don't know. I didn't really know. I was like, you know what? If I don't like where it's going, if I don't like where this is going, I could just fucking slap my dick on the table, and maybe just throw him off a little bit and just throw him off his game and be like, hey, bitch, what do you think? What do you think this is? What do you think you're doing? Who do you think you're dealing with? You're gonna what? What are you gonna tell me? Look what I'm working with. But I didn't have any intention of leading you on. I was going to tell you eventually.
Yeah.
I figured it would be one of the first things I told you on the pod. You passed the test.
Well.
And now you're here.
I passed.
Now, are you a little thrown off that I'm bringing it up now?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. So you got to pass the second test now, which is now that you're aware of it, and now that you're aware of the psychosis and the insanity of the person that you're dealing with. You're smirking right now, but it's an uncomfortable smile off camera.
Yeah.
And you're not sure how to handle this. That's fine. That's fine. It's perfectly normal to not know how to handle a situation when you start working with somebody and like your introductory meeting with them involves sexual harassment in the workplace, in public. Right now, we're talking about this openly. Yeah. But so I just we had to be sure to put you in your place to start, and we'll see where this goes. We'll see how you...
So I'm not going to know about the second test either.
Well, you know about it now. The second test is like you've been made aware of it, and that's it. Well,
and now you're testing me on how I react.
Well, yes.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I want to see how stoic you could be in the face of adversity, because you're coming on this pod and you're already a little like... You're like, a deer in the headlights, right? Because you've never been on a pod before. You've never produced a pod before. You're hearing us speak through these headphones right now, and you're a little thrown off. And I throw you this curveball. So I like to baptize people by fire. So we'll see where this goes. And you look very thrown off right now.
Somewhat
Thrown off.
Somewhat.
Because it's an insane thing to have done, right? It's an objectively it's an insane Johnny drama type thing.
I'm not judging you, but I am judging you.
That's fine. That's fine. You need to know who it is you're working with. But you passed the test.
All right.
You passed the test.
That's great.
You weren't thrown off by it. So we got a producer Dilo who's obviously packing fucking heat, because he just fucking he's like I'm not even fazed by this fucking dude. It was like a pack of socks. It was like a pair of LS socks.
Jesus.
It was a mistake. It was not a good idea.
And they didn't like fall. Like how to...
It was really uncomfortable. I kept having to go for I felt like as soon as I walked in, I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing right now? This is such a stupid fucking thing to do. But I was like, I have nothing to lose. I just want to see how he handles like insanity. And because I knew eventually if you passed the test, I would bring it up.
Yeah.
And you would have to cope with it and realize this guy's a little more insane than I thought he was. But
I passed.
You passed. Here you are. Dilo, you got to pull up this kid from Naples. This is a little bit of a shift here in gears, but you were telling me that you thought, and luckily this had been brought to my attention. I'd been made aware of this on Twitter. I saw this a few days ago. We'll pull this up now that we're on YouTube. We have the element of adding some visual components to the pod here, but so there's a kid in Naples. I'm not sure who he is. I think you might know a little bit more about him than me, because you, when you arrived here, said, you got to talk about this today, dude. You see these videos and you seem to know more about them. Apparently there's twins, there's multiple.
Apparently there's
brothers that are doing this thing.
I don't know.
Can you show me?
I don't know the full story.
Can you show me the video?
Yeah.
And we'll throw it up in the background over here, but
Yeah, so from what I know, it's a little white kid.
Well, how do you know he's white?
You could tell.
It looked like what?
You could tell.
Well, I don't know. It looked like he. Who knows? I'll tell you what. He didn't look like anything I've ever seen before.
No.
He didn't look black in that. He didn't look like a regular black guy. He didn't look like a white guy. He looked like he had something going on, which it blurred the lines a little bit. Mm-hmm. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Like he's really whatever he looked racially ambiguous there.
Maybe he's in a transition phase.
Yeah, like the reverse Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So this kid in Naples, his father put him in blackface and dressed him up to look like I think it's Victor Osimhen, who's his favorite player. It's charming. It's the kid loves Victor Osimhen. Osimhen scored today against Frankfurt at the time of recording, right? He's one of the best strikers in Europe right now. Can you blame the kid for liking him?
Well, from what I know, I was just reading some replies on the tweet, and some people were kind of defending him, saying that it's his idol, and apparently, from what one Twitter reply said, is that it's like an idol week in Naples or something that's going on this week, and people dress up as their idols, so that's why he did it.
That's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. Now, here's the thing that I don't like about this. We'll throw the picture up again of this kid. Okay, poor guy. This kid doesn't know what's going on. He's getting run through the mud. The blonde is a little bit much.
Yeah.
The blonde is a little bit much. It's a little. I think. Listen, going blonde is taking it a little bit too far because I don't think that kid's got naturally blonde hair. I think they bleached it blonde. That's a little bit too much for my taste. I think that's a step. It's taking it a step too far. That's throwing me off. I'm looking at this kid and I'm like, hey, I don't know if this is a black kid or a white kid. I don't really know what I'm looking at. I don't know if it's an Indian boy. I don't love that his hair looks cartoonishly blonde. That's a little bit troubling to me. I think that's a little insensitive. I think we need to educate this kid on these issues, you know? You can't just because here's the thing. Look, I'm an adult. I went blonde a year ago. I went platinum blonde. But I'm an adult. I can make these decisions. I can decide what type of life I want to live, how I want to look, my appearance, but we shouldn't trivialize these matters and let little kids be doing something like that. It sets the wrong example. When you go to school looking like this with blonde hair.
I have a funny story.
Share the funny
about blackface.
Please indulge. Blackface. A funny story about blackface. Okay, let's. Yes.
I must have been 12, 11 years old. Sec 1, first year of high school.
Yes.
And I had no Halloween costume. And I know people are going to dress up for Halloween. I was like, what do I have? There was a Bob Marley wig that we had downstairs. I threw it on. And then for some reason we had some type of face paint. And I thought it'd be a good idea to maybe paint my face black, not knowing that blackface was even a thing. Mm-hmm. And then thank God my parents kind of told me you probably shouldn't do that and kind of educated me on the issue around blackface.
I'm surprised that your Italian parents had the wherewithal to say, this is not politically correct, young Dilo. Maybe, this idea, take a back seat. That's impressive to me because there are a lot of Italians on the East Coast. There are a lot of Montreal Italians who would say, looks good. Honestly, you know what the issue would be for a lot of them? They wouldn't say this is inappropriate. A lot of them would just say, I don't want you going out looking like that. Come on, what are you doing? Let's be honest. That's the people we're dealing with over here. So good on your parents for being progressive. That's impressive.
Shout out my parents.
Well, so this is good. So this is what we call mutually assured destruction. Okay? Because we're 15 minutes into the episode. First time you're producing a pod. Mm-hmm. And we don't really have our cadence yet. I'm not really, we don't really know what we're doing. This is a little different. It's a little bit of a different change of pace, I'm engaging you maybe a little more than you thought you might have been engaged. And it's the first time. That's not a problem. But we're figuring this out. And already I've admitted to sexually harassing you, and you've admitted to pondering and seriously considering, and had it not been for the intervention of other people, wearing blackface.
Yeah.
So one thing that you can't say about us is that we won't be honest with you and open. We're always going to be open and honest. We always will. Because I think the human condition overall, I mean, is kind of depraved. And there's nothing wrong with admitting this sort of shit. Because all you people have done this too, or you've thought these things too. You guys all have crazy ideas. I'm just crazy enough to admit it. And now I'm dragging this innocent young little boy into the mud. And he's admitting to heinous acts as well. No, but you don't know when you're 12, right? You don't know when you're 12 years old what's right, what's wrong. That's fair. And here's the thing. A lot of kids, when they're like 6 years old, want to be black. And I'm sure it exists the other way, the other way too. But I think a lot of guys who, I remember being in elementary school and you'd have kids that like basketball and like their favorite basketball player might be black. And they would say, I want to be black. I remember like 7-year-olds saying this. So this kid doesn't know what's up. And that's it's what it is. I mean, who's going to go after this kid, right? I mean, usually what inevitably happens here is people go after the parents. People go after the parents and say, this guy's ignorant. Now, is this Napolitan father ignorant? Or is this a guy who's telling his son, you could be anything you want to be, baby. You could be anything you want to be when you grow up. Don't be limited. Don't be confined by what society tells you. In some ways, that's pretty progressive. It's pretty woke. Is that what they call it? Woke? I believe.
Woke,
yeah. It's pretty woke. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. Naples is not a place that's conducive to... Here's the thing. Naples isn't a place that's conducive to... by and large, this happened in Naples, right? Naples isn't a place that is conducive to a lot of new age ideas kind of, being propagated and shared in Napolitan society. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. But one thing about them that I like is they kind of always mean well. Neapolitans, Southern Italians, Neapolitans in particular, almost never come from a place of... They never come from a bad place. They never have ill intentions when they do this sort of thing. It's endearing. That's the thing. A lot of people won't understand. They see this, they think this guy's father's a fucking racist motherfucker. He's making him look like a maestro character in the 1940s who's eating watermelon. And he is. That's not good. That's not a good look. However, what you have to realize is this Napolitan man means well.
It's his idol.
He means well. It's his idol. Yes, he means well. He wants his son. Dude, if he would tell Osimhen, come into the house, have some fucking pasta patate. This is my son. He's a big fan. Look, he dressed up as you for Idol Week.
He has his jersey.
He dressed up as you for Idol Week. Do you think Osimhen would be uncomfortable by that? He just wants to look like his idol. There's no ill intention. You know who has really fucking bad intentions? The Northern Italians. They're the ones who are condescending and who will condescend to you. And they'll do shit with like, here's the thing. Northern Italians are kind of like, if you're to juxtapose this with like the American landscape, they're the closeted racists. We talk about how there's a lot of talk about systemic racism or just people kind of harbor resentment, but they're kind of like low key about it. These people who live in the Hamptons who don't really want their kid to marry a black, a black person, right? And it's like, but they'll vote for the Dems, right? They'll vote for the Dems and they'll talk about how they're progressive, but in secret they're kind of like, they keep it very low key. That's kind of like what the Northern Italians do. They're a little more tactful about their racism. They'll slip it in a conversation if they think it's comfortable, right? Like they're like, listen, I'm among friends, I'll slip it in. But they won't go and they won't go too public with it. A lot of them will do it publicly, but as a group. So you have like a group of ultras, and they'll all collectively be like, this is our racist sentiment, or this is our sentiment, So there's power in numbers, but they do it in, there's always a little bit of undercurrent. There's always a lot of thought going into it. They're doing it as a collective. They're doing it with other people. They're not being too overt about it. They're a little bit more backhanded in it. They're a little more subtle with it. And then in the vote, in the votes, right, it comes out, and then they vote for the Lega. They vote for Salvini, whatever. And why? Well, because, economic development and shit, but really it's because they want the Libyans crossing the Ionian Sea to go drown. They're like, yeah, we don't need those people. That's what they think. And you know who doesn't think that? The Napolitans. They're like, come on in. They love the Sri Lankans and Napoli. Kind of. I mean, it's still, listen, it's not. It's not Williamsburg, New York. All right. There's still a little bit like, you will have a Napolitan guy use a racial slur sometimes. I mean, we're painting with a bit of a broad brush here, but overall, they're actually very cool, inclusive people, because they kind of appreciate people that are down in the dirt. They're like, you're an immigrant, you got it tough. Join the club. So do I. Look where I live. My fucking apartment building's falling apart. I have no privacy. I could hear my neighbors arguing in the kitchen across like it's a meter. There's a meter between buildings. So they appreciate that. They kind of like those people. It's a shame that this kid is going to be getting a bad rap now, because he only had good intentions. He didn't mean to do anything that was super nefarious. He just thought, oh, you know what? Like, I want to look like him. He looks, I don't know about you. I think he looks, put a picture up, one next to the other. I can't tell who's who. I mean, they did a great job. Of like, it's a little bit cartoonish. It's a little bit much, like most, right? But he's got the jersey, the hair, and he's got the Zorro mask that he always wears. For the broken nose.
Is his nose still broken?
I don't know. I think he just wants to protect it. But the kid didn't neglect that. Like, I appreciate that. He's using accessories.
Attention to detail.
He's using accessories, man. He's really committed to it, man. The blonde hair is I mean, it could have been like the spray paint shit, actually. It could have been the paint. I don't know. It didn't look good. It's true. It didn't look good. It looked like it was a little bit like cheapo, rusty, kind of yellow. I don't know. But you got to look this kid up if you haven't seen him yet. I mean, it's really quite endearing, because what you have is a kid who doesn't realize that anything he's doing is wrong. He doesn't realize that he doesn't know historical context. He doesn't know about like what society says. He's just like, I like this guy. I want to look like him. It's kind of cute. Should we give him a pass? Like, should we let him do it again? Because, sometimes you might say, hey, listen, this is a kid. We appreciate what you're going for here. Don't do this again. But what if it makes him happy? What if he throws a tantrum? And you know how some kids are like, no, I want to wear like, you have like a 5-year-old boy who's like, I want to dress like a princess, like my sister. And the parents have to be like, no, you're not. No, you're a boy. We can cross that bridge if we get there. When you grow up one day, you want to speak in like Ebonics and shit. Like that's up to you. But you're my kid right now. You're going to do it this way. No. But is that right? Should we let the kid, is it wrong to tell the kid not to wear the princess costume? What if he says, I really want to wear this, and he throws up a fucking tantrum? Do you think the parents have it in them to say, nah, no more? Because the people in Naples seem to like it. A lot of people, they were going up to him, like patting him on the head, like, hey, caro, ven acá, taking a picture. They're taking selfies.
He's a celebrity.
Listen, it's not this. The astounding thing about this is, it's not just that the kid was wearing blackface. That's not that astounding. It's not. He's a kid, whatever. One parent who doesn't really know the rules. It's the fact that people saw him and were like, this is fucking sick. This is mental. Hey, come over here. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on with this guy. All right, what's your name? You like Osimhen? Yeah, is he your favorite player? Me too. I like him a lot. Let me get a picture. And they'll post about it. Like people that work with them, follow them. And these people are not losing their jobs.
It's different.
It's very different.
It's different over there.
People don't get it. Malice, intent. Very important. But no, obviously, no. We're this is all tongue in cheek. I mean, it's a little bit uncomfortable. You see that, and it makes you a little uncomfortable. Yeah. It's a little much. But I mean, yeah, it's a real delicate thing, cause it's. What are you gonna do? Why would you tell the kid that it's wrong? Tell the kid, listen, buddy, you can't do this anymore. He probably wouldn't be able to compute it. He would say, but why? And you go, well, because he's black. It kind of makes you realize like the absurdity of this whole like binary thing. Oh, we gotta like always talk about race and think about race. Why does it even matter? Oh, well, it trivializes black people's struggle. He'll say, what does trivialization mean? And you're like, well, I don't know. And there's just like an endless string of questions. I don't envy that father, Because that father's going to have to say, listen, we're getting a lot of fucking death threats right now on Twitter. Son, we can't do this anymore. We can't do this anymore. I'm sorry. And he'll say, why? And he'll say, well, I get it. I don't have an issue with it. I think it's cute. And he'll say, what do you mean, but there's no but, Pa. What the hell? What's going on? It's like the kid's going to realize his father's a hypocrite for the first time. It's a real thing. It's a real thing that we're going to have to monitor. What's the kid's name? Do you know?
I don't know the name. I just know the person who posted it.
I hope it's a really. Let's
see.
I hope it's Jankto. I hope it's like a little Napolitan kid who's like 4 years old with like a mob boss name. Do we not know? Maybe it's better that we not. Maybe it's better that we let the kid live in anonymity.
Yeah, better that way.
Here's the ironic thing. No one will ever know it's him.
They won't.
You'll never know it's him. We don't know his name.
We don't know what.
We don't know what his face looks like.
We don't know.
We don't know. Do you know what? If this kid walked into the room right now and punched you in the balls, and he just
I would never make the connection.
You would never make the connection. Never. No, not once. No. I mean, unless he's, he's still rocking the blonde.
Yeah.
If he's still rocking the blonde, that might throw it off. You'd be like, oh, who is this? Who is this fucking little devil KKK child? We'll see. Other news: Jankto, who used to play for Sampdoria. By the way, we're hitting all the what do you call it? What's that hierarchy of like oppression? The hierarchy of oppression groups. The groups, and there's like a hierarchy. So if you're like a black, trans, a person of color, a non-binary, you're like at the top of the list. And if you're like a Jew, you're at the bottom, but you're still kind of like oppressed, even though people don't tend to historically. The word's evading me.
Hold on.
There's like a ranking system. Of different oppressed groups. And the higher you are in the group, the more privilege you don't have. Or the less privilege you have. Is this a word or
is this like...
There's a word for it. It's evading me. In any event, we're attacking all those groups today. Or we're addressing all those groups today. We're skating around all the really uncomfortable subjects on this first YouTube episode. Dilo wants to quit right now. He's like, yeah.
This might backfire in the future.
No, you're good. No one knows your name. No. You're Dilo.
They know me as Dilo.
You're Dilo. Jankto came out as gay. He used to play for Sampdoria. He's now playing in the Czech league. And first of all, we commend him for doing. I don't know. I think he's the first. I think he's the first player for a men's national team to come out as gay. So you're the first to do anything. I commend you. Obviously, not the first player to ever play for a national team because, the women's national teams it's a little bit of a different bar. It's a little bit of a different bar. It's like the expectation is different. It's like if you play for the U.S. women's national team and you come out and say I like to suck dick, people are like, whoa, good for you, So, but he's the first man to do that to come out and announce he's gay. You wish him all the best. You hope it works out for him. I believe he's on loan from a team in Spain now, so he's not really involved in Italian football anymore. But he's an alum. I gotta say, my overarching takeaway. This is how you know that fucking shit's bad in Italy. When he felt uncomfortable coming out in Italy, but he felt comfortable enough coming out in Eastern Europe, playing in the Czech Republic. He's like, the Czechs, they'll get me. In Italy, no fucking way. What, Genova, no fucking thank you. No fucking thank you. He literally thinks, because I don't know if you're familiar, but like in Hungary, in Czechia, Slovakia, Ukraine, like they'll like whistle at you in the streets, and like if you walk hand in hand with a man, they'll look at you, they'll throw you a look. It's like it's not socially acceptable. Like I think it's it's kind of skewing in that direction, but there's a lot more open. People are a lot more comfortable being homophobic, right? Mm-hmm. And the guy's like, you know what? Now that I'm in the Czech Republic, because he's on loan at Sparta or a team at Slavia Prague, I think. He's on loan right now. He's been there for like a few months, and he's like, you know what? Now that I've been living in the fucking Czech Republic, now that I left the Mediterranean, I'm no longer in Italy.
Now it's time.
I think I could finally be my true, authentic self. Makes you realize, though. I mean, I don't know, man. I actually commend the guy for having the balls to do it, because if I was gay and I was a footballer, I just wouldn't have the balls to do it, because I wouldn't be comfortable enough to just make that announcement, because dudes, man, in the locker room, as much as like he's like one of the boys, hey man, good for you, bump him up. I think a lot of guys in the back of their mind when they're showering now are like, oh fuck, you know, is he looking at me funny? And you know what it is? It's not even from like a malicious place. It's just like, oh, I don't want to. It's almost like, hey, like now he made it weird. It's like, hey, I don't have a problem with it, but it's like I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. Now that I know you're like this, I can't. That you're like this. That's a great word. Now that I know you swing this way, I'm gonna be extra careful around you. And then it's like,
it's like that American footballer. What's his name? Carl Nassib was playing for the Raiders, and looks like, yeah.
There's a gay guy who plays for the Raiders in the NFL?
Well, he played for the Raiders, and then he came out, and now he's not on the Raiders.
The Raiders are not exactly a team that you want to do that for. I mean, listen. Aren't the Raiders like the most like Catholic Mexican team? Like the most like Chicano, like East LA team in all of fucking America? Those are like the last people. Dude, if you're gay in fucking East LA and you're Mexican, they'll cut your balls out one at a time. No, but they all like the Oakland, now Vegas Raiders. It's a thing. They're a really popular team down there in that circle. I don't know, but yeah, the weird thing about this is like when I have a gay friend in my network, I try to be like extra like. I think the best thing I could do is be as normal as possible in my speech, meaning I don't like modify it at all, because it's like, whatever, who cares, right? But in the back of your mind, you all know it. You guys all do this too. There's a little bit of like, I got to be a little careful. And it comes from a good place. It's like, it's not like, oh, I don't want to offend this fucking fruitcake. No, it's like, you know, I don't want to say something that might upset him. So it's like people go into hyperdrive to like rectify their speech. And I feel like that's almost patronizing. People don't like that, you know? Like if you're a gay person and you feel like people are always like on eggshells around you, it's like, hey bitch, like what are you doing? Like I don't care. I don't want to suck your dick necessarily. I mean, maybe I do. But that's the thing. There's always this dynamic of does he, doesn't he? It's like once you find out, here's the thing. Here's what's funny too. The audacity of a dude to think, oh, well, this guy's gay. He definitely wants to suck my dick. I got to be weird. Dude, most women don't want to suck your dick. You know what I mean? You ever go to a meeting with a bunch of fucking women, you're like, fuck, this is awkward. They all want to rip my pants off and fucking have me blow a load in them. Nope. No, they don't. No, they do not. You're gross. Most of you are. I don't know if male attraction to males is the same thing, if it kind of follows the same scale. To be fair, footballers are a little more fit, right? So, I mean, imagine if you had to be like in a room full of models who are like in the top 1% of like fitness and you had to shower with them. Like it's a little like, dude, this guy's been fucking dealing with it for a really long time. He's like, it's not easy. I don't envy him. I really don't.
I have a crazy story that just came to my mind, and it might upset a lot of people.
Well, you've already done a great job with the blackface one, so let's keep the momentum rolling. Let's just dig the hole a little deeper.
So I work at a cafe, and this guy came in to fix the heating, and he was telling me there was a soccer game on. I was watching it. And he was telling me that he met Ronaldo he was on vacation at some Mexican resort, I believe. And
Ronaldo was at a Mexican resort.
The whole Real Madrid team or something, they were playing some type of game in Mexico. It might have been, I think it was Mexico, he said.
Okay.
Might have to fact check them, because I'm not sure if I believe this story.
It's supposed to be your job. By the way, that's what you're going to do. But
I
okay,
gotta do some more research on the story he told me.
But sure,
I'm not sure if I believe it.
The guy behind the camera is going to fact check you right now. Sure. Why do we do it that way? So D'Lo, who we've established has a huge dong, is now reversing it on me, and he's clock slapping me with it. No. So, okay, sorry.
So he claimed that he was at this resort, and Ronaldo walked by him and asked him to sleep with him. And he said, no one believes me. This is what this guy who came to fix the heating was telling me. That no one believes him, but he's telling me the truth. I was in shock when he told me. I don't know if I believe him, but he made it sound very convincing. I don't know if maybe he took drugs in Mexico and hallucinated, was hearing things.
What's the guy look like?
He was probably in his 30s, 40s.
What's his background? Not that it matters,
I have no
but
clue.
what's
He
his
was
name?
French.
A French guy.
Yeah.
A French-Canadian electrician.
Yeah.
Was at a Mexican resort.
Yeah.
With a bunch of other French Canadians go, and the Real Madrid team happened to be there.
He told me it's hard to believe. He knows that, but he was telling me it's true.
So this guy did electrical work at the cafe that you work at.
Yeah.
Correct. And you still work there now.
Yeah.
And you go in like multiple times a week, and you're there in that space where he's done electrical work. Correct.
Yeah.
When was this? How long ago was this?
When he told me the story,
Yes.
or
When did he tell you the story?
the fall?
He came in to do electrical work in the fall. How many?
Sorry, the summer.
In the summer.
In the summer.
So like 6 months ago.
Around, yeah.
Okay. Can I tell you something? Mm-hmm. It's a miracle that you've been alive the last 6 months and that you haven't spontaneously combusted after this guy did electrical work. It's a fucking minor miracle that you're still here and that you haven't been burnt alive while making a fucking macchiato. You let that guy do electrical work after he told you that story?
Yeah. He didn't sleep with him or anything. He said, "No, I don't swing that way," and nothing happened after that. But I don't know. Crazy story. When he told me this, right off the bat, it's hard to believe. But something about it, kind of,
something about it checks out.
You look at Ronaldo, like he's a very good-looking guy.
Yeah.
And he has his wife, he has his kids, but.
Dude, I mean, he
comes off.
Listen.
Maybe.
He had the surrogate kids for a while, too. He was having kids via surrogate. A lot of gay men have kids via surrogate. Illuminati confirmed. That's I don't know. Dude, come on. When was this? What year was this? He was at Real Madrid. Do you have access?
At Real Madrid.
Do you have access to this guy?
No.
To this man. You can't call him back. You have no idea.
I mean, I could, but it would require me to connect. Ask some other people.
Could we call him from a blocked number? And I would say, "Hi, sir."
We could probably. I could probably get the number. Yeah.
Could we get the number and call him and say, "I'd like to ask you a couple questions about the night of June 14th."
This might be a very good idea.
2015.
This might be a very good idea.
I'm with.
But before that, let's see.
I'm with Der Spiegel. I'm with Der Spiegel. And we'll remunerate you. We will remunerate you handsomely for your contribution to this article. What happened? And then I could just probe the guy and ask him a bunch of questions about. I don't know, man. What are you looking up?
I'm looking up if Real Madrid played in Mexico.
At any point in time over the last 10 years?
Yeah.
I mean, this
probably happened.
Good luck. It would have been like 8 years. I think he signed in 2010. He left in 2018, I think. So 2009, I think he signed. I think you'll
Must
be
have been a preseason.
You'll be hard pressed, man. You'll be hard pressed to find this shit. I don't.
Yeah.
No. So Ronaldo propositioned him. I don't really know where to go with that. I mean, I guess I believe it. Ronaldo was painting his toenails before anyone else, and people always called him gay, and it was like he went so far the other way where he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna date like a Sports Illustrated model." But listen, there were those rumors about. Do you remember the rumors that he was sleeping with that Moroccan kickboxer, Badr Hari?
I don't remember these rumors.
Yeah, it was a thing. I mean, they were boys, and they would like go on vacation together all the time. And apparently, Florentino Perez, like according to some people, this is some circles. I mean, some people on Reddit might have you believe that he was jetting off to Morocco from Madrid on days off to go, be butt buddies with this guy. I don't know. Listen, we'll see. I mean, listen, if this clip makes the rounds or something, maybe some people might like investigate it a little further. I mean, it's out there now. The accusations have been levied by a French electrician in Lachine.
Yeah.
In Lachine, Quebec.
Pretty harsh allegations.
A lot of French Canadian people love going to resorts in Mexico. When you go Mexique, Dalio Mexique, Dalia Punta Cana, Estebo. And they don't tend to stay at very nice places. Does this guy have a good, like, thriving business?
I have no clue. It's the only time I really.
There are a lot of questions. Now, how did this come up? How did it come up? How did he bring it up?
We were watching the soccer game. I don't know if Ronaldo was playing. No, it was in the summer. No, probably just a soccer game was on, and
that's his go-to story. He just
exactly,
says anytime soccer's on, he says, "Hey, you know, Ronaldo tried to fuck me that one time."
Like, maybe he was using it. I don't know. Does he consider it like a flex?
Listen, we have to
flexing that story.
We have to dig a little deeper. We got to call this guy. Can you figure out? Can you find his info right now?
Yeah, not right now, but
you can't look it up. You have no way of finding it out.
I'd have to text some people.
You have to text some people. Okay. Well, I don't know if that'll work. Well, let's put it on the back burner for now. You could fire a text off. We can get the guy's number. Maybe we can call him live on pod. If not this time, maybe another time. But it's something worth noting for sure. Let's see.
I'll work on it.
You'll work on it?
I'll work on it.
Okay. That's what we like to hear. Another story. Apparently, Karim Benzema sent 3 women flowers on Valentine's Day. His baby's mother, his ex-wife, and his current wife. Can you imagine having... Now, here's the thing. I got my girlfriend roses on Valentine's Day, and they were white. They were cream roses. I got them just for her. And I don't want to make it sound like, listen, I'm going to make her sound fucking terrible. She said they're beautiful. They smell nice. I appreciate it. I don't want to look like an ingrate, you know, but you get white roses for your mother. You get red roses for your lady. That's what she said. That's what she said. I got roses for one girl, and I didn't even get away with it. I fucked up. This guy's getting roses for 3 women, 3 separate women. And I think they're all cool with it. So I wondered, how patronizing is it to send your ex-wife flowers? Because that guy, she's ruined for life. You know what he's doing? He's like branding them.
Well, he brought one of them or 2 of them to.
I think he did.
The Ballon d'Or ceremony.
He did. Yeah, man. He's been very Mormon of late. Because he's like, here's the thing. It's almost like he's emotionally branding them, if that makes sense. Because what if you're a new guy who wants to, first of all, good luck competing with the money.
You can't keep
and the clout. It's over. I think they realize that they've peaked. Those women realize that they can't. They'll never find that again. The best they can hope for is that they get back with him at some point. Think about it.
And they're probably posting the flowers that he sent them on their Instagram.
Whether they are or aren't doesn't matter. The point is, they've kind of. It's rather tragic. It's rather tragic, and this is why Andrew Tate this is why people kind of cling to the shit he says. Lost a slipper. Cute. We're playing footsie under the table. All right. This is why people kind of like what Andrew Tate says. I'm telling you, this is why dudes hear it and they're like, well, it's kind of true. Because what happens is, when a guy gets that much fucking money, the parameters are different. The rules are different. You can get away with a lot more shit. Because if you start dating a woman at T = 0, right? Right now, it's the first date of your fucking relationship, right? The first time you ever fucking link up and go out, okay? And she knows who you are. You're already a baller. She's probably going to be willing to give up. You set the boundaries a little bit differently. You could say, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. There will be other women on the side. It's a consensual thing to just say yes. When it becomes problematic is when a guy who's been with a girl for a long time makes it, strikes it big and then, wants to pursue that more fucking Wolf of Wall Street type lifestyle. That's what I think. I really think I think that almost like puts guys in line. The fact that they've been like grandfathered into a relationship with someone who's been with them since they were like nothing, But if you're fucking a footballer, bro, I mean, it's over. Every relationship you're ever in, because he started playing football pro at like 16, 17. He's never had an adult relationship where he's not been the man. So these women have peaked relationship-wise. Emotionally as people, individual. I mean, maybe they have a lot more growth to do. I don't know. I don't know. But they're mothers to his kids in some cases, whatever. But that's worth something. You're a mother. That's beautiful. But it feels like there's not much more they can do in terms of like a man you could attract. That's it. He's the ultimate. He's the ultimate baller. He is. Like every footballer who plays as a fucking striker who's my age or younger looks up to him. He's the guy. Not just because he's a good forward, but because of the lifestyle. And a lot of them do. Lord knows, like Andrea Petagna, if he could, if Andrea Petagna could become Karim Benzema, he would go Dahmer. He would do a Dahmer. He would go on a Dahmer spree to become Karim Benzema. It's not even close. He wants to live that lifestyle, but he can't. He's playing for Spal or whatever the fuck he's playing. I don't know. Where's he at now? Monza. It's not the same. But Benzema's the guy. He's like and by the way, Petagna is able to pretty much do anything he wants. In Italy, in the Italian context, he's a Serie A footballer. He can swing his dick a little bit. Like I tried to do at the cafe unsuccessfully. He can swing his dick a little bit. And like Benzema's the apex of them all. He posts about it openly and it doesn't even feel braggadocious. You ever seen Karim Benzema's summer compilation videos on vacation?
Yeah.
When he goes to Miami?
Those are insane.
And he plays Booba in the background, Drake. And it's just songs about how like
with his Bugatti.
We got money with my brothers. And it's like and you're not even mad about it. You're not even mad. You're just like, you know what? This feels right. And yet he's like he brags about his lifestyle, and yet he's like a humble Muslim. He prays, Charbon nueve, Alhamdulillah. That's his thing. He kind of hits it all. He's like a pious Muslim guy who does Ramadan, but he fucks. You know? So that's about as good as it's gonna get. Because he's not like a Mario Balotelli who's like a crazy bad boy who has the crazy lifestyle, but like it kind of degenerates. The results have been there for Benzema over the years. How many goals he scored against Liverpool today? He's 36 this year. I didn't even watch the game.
He scored 2 goals.
He scored 2 goals. Exactly.
2 out of the 5.
I heard you were telling me that they came back against Liverpool. In my mind, I just assumed Benzema scored 2 goals. You know? Like, those women are never going to do better than him. It's a and it's a real sad reality for them, probably. You know, you're not going to be able to solicit. You might get someone who's better looking or as good looking as who's fit, but he won't be the man. When Benzema goes out, people, Spanish people, French people, every North African person on the planet loses their fucking mind. Their brains melt, bro. It's like when a 15-year-old would fucking see Justin Bieber 10 years ago. It's the same thing. So you have, dude, I mean, you're the man for all men. I mean, you know, for dudes out there, you're like the man. You're the guy. You're the guy. So it's almost like charitable that he's doing this. It's like, hey, he understands. Listen, you've been with the best. You're not with me anymore, but don't worry, baby.
I'll take care of you.
I'm still gonna take care of you. It's Valentine's Day. Here you go. There's 3 other bitches getting the fucking flowers too. Don't matter. They're happier with the flowers they received than a guy who gets the wrong color of flowers, you know? In any event. Yeah, man, France is weird. The French are weird, though. The French are. Sexually, they're all over the place. They just are. I mean, French people will, France is like the one culture. I forget who I was talking about this with. I don't remember where I thought of this a few weeks ago, but France is like the one place where like the average Joe has a side piece, and it's like every average Joe, like a guy who works on the railroad, just has a side piece. You know, his name is Claude, and he's got big burly hands, and he's got fucking calluses, and he's a mechanic, and he works on scooters, and he's not attractive at all. He's not attractive. He fucking eats like a pig. He eats fucking quail and foie gras and like goose. You know, really hardy French countryside type shit. And he'll still have an apartment for the mistress. It's like the one culture that does that. So sexually, they're very open in that sense, which is why I was very upset that this thing happened in Nice. There was a thing that happened in Nice a few weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago, last week, where like a porn star filmed a scene in the bathroom in their stadium. And now Nice is coming out and they're threatening legal action because it's defamatory in some sense. Like it's a bad look on the club. It drags them through the mud.
Did you see the video?
I didn't. Did you see the video?
No, I
didn't see the video. I looked.
But how did they identify that it was the Nice?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But I think it might have had something to do with the fact that they had jerseys on. There were people chanting in the background, and they might have, they might have like snuck into a bathroom that was. I think it happened live in real time. I think she solicited someone like in the stadium, and pulled them into the John to bone her.
Was this like an OnlyFans?
Yeah, I think it was.
OnlyFans.
No, big mistake.
It's good promotion.
Big mistake. If you're Nice, you have to pretend this didn't happen. You don't acknowledge it. You do not acknowledge it. What you do is you let it happen in silence. What you do is you kind of promote it through like burner accounts. You get like a TikTok burner or something, and you post about it. You post clips of the video, you blur it out, and then people are gonna say, "What the fuck? Oh, what's going on over there? What's going on in that stadium?" And then you kind of imply that it could happen again. Dude, can you imagine if you had the possibility? Because dude, like guys who go to the football on a Sunday, who are like working men, right? I mean, their life is, football, man. It's the only thing that makes them happy, right? They get away from the wife, they get away from the kids, they get fucking pissed, they go to a fucking game on a Sunday with their boys. It's a very working class sport. And some dime piece just says, "Do you want to come fuck me? Do you want to come fuck me in the bathroom?" Like, imagine if that was just a wild card that they could throw at you at a football game. It's good for business. It's good for bidness. That's not business. That's bidness. That's real bidness. So I was a little disappointed that Nice came out and said, "No, we don't stand by this." A little odd. Who do you think? Where do you think? What do you think this is? Where do you think you live? Where do you think you operate? You're in the south of France. People go there too anally sex. I was going to say anally sex. I would have said this is defamatory if you didn't fuck her up the ass. Because this is France and it gives us a bad reputation. I'm only half kidding. I don't know. Is this funny to you? You're laughing. I don't think it's that funny. Like it's a real serious matter when France has to be the sexual refuge of the world. If this starts, listen, man, maybe this is like a one-off incident, but I don't want this sort of thing to start being propagated. I don't want this thing to be propagated in French society. I don't. I want the French to be very sexually relaxed and laissez-faire. And if they start being a little anal, no pun intended, then I think we as humanity have nowhere to really base our proclivity for kinks off of. So maybe the video was too vanilla. Like, this doesn't represent the Niçoise people very well. Maybe the guy blew it very early, Are you looking it up right now? Are you going to try to find it to get a confirmation? Is that what you're doing? Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm dude.
For research purposes.
It was like, yeah, Matt. Yeah, dude. Imagine it's like the guy was having like a Niçoise fucking salad in the stadium with like egg and tuna and like harissa, And it's like, he's in the Nice stadium watching Nice play in the city of Nice. And it's like the most Niçoise thing that could ever happen. And like a random French bitch says, "Come fuck me in the bathroom." And she's like a little bit like ethnic looking. Like she's not like a beurette, like a very like pale French Parisian type woman. No, she's from the south of France. She's got a little bit more of like a harsh complexion. It's like up to now, it's the most absolutely Niçoise scene possible. And then the whole thing falls apart when he doesn't fuck her up the ass. And they're like, "Oh, you fucking blew it. Jesus Christ. Fuck. It was perfect." We don't claim this guy. We don't claim this motherfucker, She's like, "Can you put it up my ass?" He's like, "Ew, no. No, it's a little dirty. Well, it's a little dirty for my taste." It's like, dude, you're in France. Get in the mud. Any luck?
It's because of Nice. It's spelled nice.
Yes. That's gonna fuck up the
causing
keys.
A problem.
The search engine optimization is tough. Yeah. I don't think. What do you look it up? Nice porn. Nice
sex tape.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I don't know. Dude, I scored a goal the other day with my QSL team as a defender. And I'm so fucking mad. The statistician on the website gave it to a guy who was on the bench who was coaching us. And it was my first goal of the year. I played half the games in goal because I'm fucking pigeonholed into this position as a goalkeeper now. I scored a fucking goal. And dude, like I was dash 2 on the day. We were winning the game like 5-3. And I had 2 bad giveaways. One really bad one that led to a goal. And I was like, oh, fuck. And we had a counterattack on at the end of the game. And I turned the Jets on, bro. Like Chiesa. And I had them fucking slip a through ball to me. I had my winger slip a through ball to me. And I tried finishing it. And the goalie made a save. But it bounced up. And then it bounced down. And I tried to head it, but I missed it. But then physics propelled it in. But
So
it was a goal.
You hit it with your head.
No, I tried to. I mean, I finished on goal, and
Okay.
the goalkeeper got a foot to it, and then it kind of flicked over him, and it bounced once.
Oh, okay.
And I
it was
tried to
going
head it.
towards the net
I
already.
tried to head
I
it,
see.
but I missed it because the spin was so good. I played it off like I tried to let it go in. Like I didn't want to be too cocky. It was the end of the game. We were up by 2, but I missed the header.
Okay.
But I scored it, and I don't score much. And they gave it to another guy on the fucking team.
You
Not even on the team. I gave it to a guy who's coaching us.
You got to call them up.
I'm debating if I should, because it's a really bad look, bro. If I send them an email and I say, hi, I scored a goal the other day and you didn't, like,
And
it's a lose-lose.
it's not under my name.
This is a fucking nightmare. Do you understand? It's a fucking crisis because it's a lose-lose right now. If I don't reach out, I don't have the goal. And if I do reach out, I look like a fucking Stugatz. So it's a real, I don't know. It's a real tough one. It's a real fucking, I don't know, not good. What I'm thinking I might do is I might reach out and say, sorry, can you give it to me, please? I play half the games in goal, and I'm about to lose a bet to the other goalie on the team because the other goalie's played as a striker once and scored a goal.
Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. I don't know. Yeah, but it's
Or you can have the one who they gave the goal to. Now that I'm thinking about it.
What?
But
What do you
he
mean?
doesn't really.
What's up?
He's your coach who they
Yes.
gave the goal to?
Yes.
He can reach out. Have him reach out for you.
I don't know. Give the goal to someone else. It feels dirty.
Yeah, it does.
It feels kind of dirty. You know, like if they're gonna ask too many questions, you don't really like you don't want that, man. You know, they start asking questions about. If they don't, you realize that the entire thing could be match fixed, the entire league, like or not match fixed, but like you could stat fix. Every week you could say these are, maybe not every week, but every couple of weeks you could say little fuck up, you give me an assist here and there, and you could like overinflate the numbers and say it's not match fixing at all. I don't know why that's the word that came to mind, but. No, you could like inflate the numbers and like show it to a team and say, look at this, look at my stats, sign me up, you know? You could pull like an Ali Dia. Do you remember Ali Dia? You ever hear that story? There was a guy who played for Southampton for one match because his cousin called the coach of Southampton at the time, I think it might have been Graham Souness or someone of that ilk. And he claimed to be Timothy Weah's father. He claimed to be George Weah's cousin. He said, I'm George Weah. This guy, Ali Dia, is my cousin. He represents the Nigerian national team or something. And it was in like 1993 when they couldn't check like on Google to see who had last gotten called up by the Nigerian national team. It might have been another country in Africa. But they signed him up. They signed him on a 6-month deal. And he was in training with them. And they thought, well, he looks a little shit. But, I mean, he came in really highly recommended. Apparently, he just scored for his national team. They threw him into a game. And he's not even a real player. He was like a 9th-tier guy. They threw him in and they threw him out. Or they threw him in and they took him out. They pulled him out after 5 minutes.
Oh, he played the game.
He almost scored a goal.
He got 5 minutes.
He got 5 minutes and he almost scored a goal. In on goal, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, he fucked up a finish. It was one of the most insane things ever.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like nowadays you need to have like stats because you could never do that nowadays. If I went to a club, if I went to like a local team and said, "Hi, sign me up," they'll say, "What have you done lately? What the fuck have you done lately?" And I just show them these stats. Like they could check my QSL scores, bro, or the scores of my QSL games, my fucking QSL fucking stats, and say, no, not enough, not enough. We don't have enough. We're not seeing enough from you here, you know. It's interesting. So I need these stats. I need these stats if I'm gonna get picked on like a good fucking summer team right here. I need it because a lot of these guys fucking they'll check. They'll look you up and say, what has this guy done? They'll look up past stats in seasons from like the archives of the Quebec soccer league system. It's not ideal. We'll see. Where are we going with this pod, man? What's happening? What's happening with this? I mean, that was our first one on YouTube in the books. What are we getting ourselves into? What are we getting ourselves into? You realize you fucking are working for a psychopath right now, don't you?
It's not the worst.
That threw you off a little bit though, right? You were a little shocked. You can't look in my eyes right now. I got sunglasses on like a douchebag. You have no eye contact. You're like, oh my God, is this guy gonna fucking, what's this guy gonna make me do? Is this guy gonna just emotionally abuse me and just, did that even really happen? Did he make it up? Is he throwing a bone right now? Is he throwing a wrench in the gears to see if it'll just throw me off?
No, it was definitely shocked me. I didn't notice it. So
Dilo.
I don't know.
Dilo. There were no socks in my pants. There were no socks in my pants. I just made the whole thing up. I wanted to throw you off a little bit before the first pod. I want to see how you would do.
Are you serious?
No.
Okay.
No,
There were socks.
No, there were socks in my
There were
pants.
socks,
No, they
okay.
were LS and they were,
Okay.
yeah. Or were there. Dude, it's a pretty good strategy. You go into a meeting and you fucking throw a big fucking pair of socks in your pants. Because you walk in, here's the thing. You think you're going to walk in, no, it's actually a terrible idea. Because you walk in thinking you're going to feel like the fucking biggest man in the room. You feel so weird. It's uncomfortable. Because you're not used to having an appendage that large. So you think that, you ever like shave your head or something? Or you ever like change your hairstyle or shave your beard and think everyone's looking at me? Mm-hmm. That's what it's like. But it's down there. It's the, dude, it was the stupidest thing I've probably ever, it was the most sociopathic thing I've probably ever done. And I caught myself doing it. I was like, what am I doing here? But I was like, I don't know who this guy is. He could, because I don't trust Italians, man. I just don't trust Italian guys. I was like, listen, it's kind of got to be an Italian kid to be on the show, right? Because like, who the fuck else follows Italian football and is going to understand a lot of the references? But I just don't. I think a lot of Italians, man, all try to out-alpha each other all the time. So I'm like, I don't know if this guy's going to be humble or not. I got to humble him. I need to humble him so he realizes this is, I got to humble him. And then once he realizes, okay, like I am less than this guy, then I bring him back down to earth and say, hey, by the way, we're on the same level. That was just a prop. And then he realizes, oh, fuck. It was all, it was all a ruse. It wasn't, there's no reality to it. But for a moment, I was able to humble myself. And because, dude, like, they just, a lot of Italian guys, man. And you told me what school you were at, too. You're at Concordia. You're in a numbers program. We won't reveal more than that because we're not sure if you want to reveal your identity, which is fine. It's entirely up to you. I don't blame you based on how
how things just started.
Based on how things are starting off. I get it. You're not really sure where this is going. I understand that. But, dude, there's a lot of people that go to fucking Concordia, that go to JMSB at Concordia. And, again, a lot of people won't understand this, but there's a lot of fucking wops that go there that are how else would I – they're brain dead. They're brain dead human beings. I've talked about this before. Maybe not on the pod. I think I've talked about this with friends. But, like, going into a numbers I might have talked about this with you, I think. Maybe a couple.
What's that?
I don't remember. But, like, if you're a girl now, if you're an Italian girl and you go study numbers, if you study finance, that's the new nursing. That's the new kindergarten teacher. That's the new esthetician. This is a new esthetician because it used to be like, oh, you're an Italian girl from the neighborhood. What do? You go become an esthetician. You fucking do hair. Preschool, elementary school teacher,
Society's changing.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It's like now they just do well enough in school to like stay part of the system. They're like, what am I going to do? I don't know. I guess I'll just do finance. And they do. I know girls who've graduated in finance who don't know anything about the market. Nothing about the stock market. They don't understand derivatives, really, but
they somehow manage.
They have a finance degree, yeah. So there's a lot of people that kind of just like get pigeonholed into it. They don't realize that they should just be plumbing. They should just like go into they should become a contractor, bro. It's in your DNA. Do it. Be a corrupt contractor. What are you doing? It's easier to be a corrupt contractor than it is to be a corrupt numbers guy. There are paper trails. You're not smart enough to be a fucking corrupt numbers guy. You're not going to be the new Madoff. You're from Laval and your name's fucking Gianmarco. You're not going to do it. No one's going to trust you with their money, But Gianmarco winds up at fucking JMSB. At Concordia University. And sometimes, bro, like again, you sounded cool on the phone, but I was like, I don't know. I got to throw a bone to this guy to make sure he doesn't get thrown off.
I don't have any pictures on social media. So you kind of went in there.
I went in there a little blind. That freaked me out a little bit too because a lot of guys who don't put pictures on social media think they're too cool for it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
After like 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, I love him. But now I can't take this out now, right? I'll tell him at some point. I thought there was a chance I might hate you. There's a chance I might, and because you know what I thought? I thought if this goes awry, and I really don't like him, I will make him feel uncomfortable about the fact that I have a bigger dick than him. At least that's what he thinks.
Yeah.
Whether I do or not, it appears so. It's actually a good strategy. Now that I'm thinking about it again, it's
not the worst.
It's a great strategy if you want to deal with Mediterranean men. So sometimes you'll get like a Middle Eastern guy who's really like, Yeah, bro. Yeah, habibi, I do this. Yeah, this is my car, bro. Yeah, bro, I make this much money last year. Adidas socks.
In your pants.
In the crotch. And walk in to a fucking cafe in gray sweats or something. Just wait. And you know what? If there's girls there, Middle Eastern girls, you got to have no intention of ever boning them or courting them. Because eventually they're going to... Well, right, exactly. That's a little dicey in that sense, right? But because we're talking like a prop that's like comically large. Dude, a fucking sock. It's like a pop can. It's ridiculous. But if there's a couple of women there, right, and they're with the women, these dudes are with the women, you really want to make them uncomfortable. The women will know. They'll start to behave because they look. You didn't look because I don't look. I don't stare at that shit. I learned after having a girlfriend. Because prior to that, dude, I went to an all-guy school. I went to an all-guy high school. I didn't have any, like, super intimate relationships or, like, any platonic, like, deep relationships with women where, like, I had, like, female friends where they could reveal this shit to me. It took me having a girlfriend to realize, no, gray sweatpants, like, you got to be careful when you wear those. That's there. Did you even know this?
I've seen it, but, like, I don't get it.
Gray sweats for a guy are kind of like Lululemon yoga pants for a woman. You know how it kind of, like, holds it all together?
Yeah.
So apparently the way that it's cut, the color, it allows them to see a little bit more than they might if you were wearing a baggy pair of shorts, for example. So dudes may not know this. I didn't know this, okay? But apparently it's a thing. It's a fucking thing.
I've seen it on TikTok.
You've seen it on TikTok?
Yeah.
Well,
but I don't know. When I'm out and about, I don't notice anything. But they notice.
But they notice. So again, Middle Eastern guy, braggadocious. You want to assert dominance? Women that you won't ever sleep with that are there with him, sock in the pants. Sock in the pants. It's a solution to most situations. Again, it's a little sociopathic. Like it actually, ironically, it screams of beta cuck fucking small dick energy. I gotta put a fucking sock in my pants. It's not the point. It's just a mental game. It's the art of war. You understand? It's the art of war. You go in there and you know that the women that he's with are gonna they're going to notice and they're going to be like, oh, they're going to perk up a little bit. And this motherfucker is not going to understand why the women are kind of treating you with a little bit more respect. He won't get it and it'll drive him crazy. And it's a good way to assert dominance. It's a good way to assert dominance. It just is. On like machismo type cultures, you know? Yeah. This one time, bro, we're talking, I was like 18, 19. And my girlfriend knows the story. She won't even care. She's aware of this. I was at a bar with a couple of buddies of mine. I was there with two guy friends, and we met up with like this other friend group, which was like a mix of like men and women, right, guys and girls. And there was a dude at the bar in this group of friends who didn't like me much because he was playing on my beer league 7-a-side fucking QSL team, right?
He was on your team.
He was on my team, and it was the first year that I had ever done it. So what I did was I went to a few teammates and friends and said, who do you guys know? We want to get a few guys to, join the team. We'll get to this many numbers. So this was like a friend of a friend. Big mistake. So you got to do background checks. I didn't know. So we got this guy in, and he didn't pay. And weeks go by, and he's still not paying. And I go, dude, fucking pay me. And by the way, you're off the team. And he didn't like that. He didn't like that. So he decided he had it out for me. He's like, fuck this guy. He's calling me all sorts of shit. He's calling me a homophobic term that we can't say no more. So whatever. The summer rolls around a few months later. And there's a girl that he really fucking is in love with that likes me. I learned that she liked me. I had no interest in her. She's a pretty girl. I just didn't have interest. I was like, it doesn't feel right. Whatever. So, but I was like, he doesn't know that I have no intention of pursuing her, right? So I walked in with my three friends. Crashed their fucking party. Sat down next to her. She's between the two of us, and she's not looking at him. She's just talking to me the whole fucking time.
Going into it, you knew.
I knew they were gonna be there, and I was like, I'm gonna drive this motherfucker nuts.
But you knew she had an interest for you.
I was aware. Yes,
okay,
I was very much aware that he was interested in her, and she was interested in me.
Okay.
But I wasn't interested in her. But I was like, well, all I'm gonna do is talk to her. I wasn't even like leading her on, but I'm just talking to her.
Yeah.
I'm talking to her. That's all I'm doing. She's next to me and I'm talking to her. I'm a single guy. I'm 18, bro. Right? I think I'm fucking smooth as shit. Which, to be fair, I wasn't. But like at 18, I was more well spoken than this fucking doofus, right? Who's driving his parents' Mercedes and isn't paying for shit and is using his mom's credit card to buy Dom Perignon at the fucking club, you know? So, dude, I'm talking to her the whole night, and he's fucking fuming. He's fuming. I can tell.
You noticed?
I noticed, dude. He was getting like visibly mad, and at one point, him and one of his buddies got drunk, and I think one of them stood up. He's a Lebanese guy, and he goes, he had the biggest nose I'd ever seen in my life, and he goes, "Bro, you and your friends, you're being really disrespectful right now. You know that, bro? You're being really fucking disrespectful." And we just got up and went to the bathroom. We're like, we're going to go to the bathroom. You cool off. And we're in there. We're like, there's a chance when we get out there, we might have to fight these guys. So we called for backup, and it never wound up happening. But the guy flipped out. The guy kept flipping out because this girl was giving me more attention than she was to his friend. And we left. We walked away. And I said, bye to the girl. Thank you. And I blew the guy a kiss, you know? But I didn't blow him a kiss. But the tone was, that was the tone. And I just enjoyed it, you know. It's fun to do that. And that's a guy who would go to Concordia University and go to JMSB.
To bring this story.
Yes, exactly. So I didn't know what I was dealing with. But you passed the first test with flying colors. I mean, I'm really happy. You didn't listen, you were a little thrown off in the beginning, I know. You recovered really well. So I commend you for that. I really fucking do. I really do. By the way, I think I did swear, like in the beginning of this. We're breaking we did, because I do it so fucking effortlessly and calmly. Dude, no, I'm breaking the fourth wall a lot here. I mean, this is a little weird because this is going to go on YouTube, so like the entire cadence of the pod's a little different. But listen, if you're new to the show, I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe. Apparently that helps us out a great deal. You got to subscribe to the fucking pod and like give us a rating, leave a comment. Say this guy sucks. I don't care. Say this guy's a sociopath. I really don't care. Well, leave a comment of some kind. This guy's a creep, whatever. Reported. Better Business Bureau, sexual assault or sexual harassment. Hey, we're not registered. We're not a fucking business. So come at me. Sue me. I don't care. Diolo signed a contract, bro. He's not suing me. He's not suing me, bro.
Can't.
He's not suing me. He's not fucking suing me. It was in the contract. It was actually like in really, you didn't know this, but it was in like really fucking tiny print, like half size font. You cannot sue me for sexual misconduct. Yeah. You signed the contract. I don't know what to tell you.
Was there a spelling mistake?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
Might be able to use that to my advantage.
Dude, I sent you 3 versions of the same agreement to sign. I was like, hey, just disregard the last one. I was like, no, actually, this is the real one. I'm a fucking degenerate, bro. I'm a fucking loser. That's why you should listen to this pod. Guys, enjoy. We're at Calcio Podcast on all platforms. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. It's Calcio Podcast. YouTube, yeah. I'm happy we got this one out of the way. We'll look back on it in like a year or two. We'll say, oh, fuck, that was really cringe. And whatever. Why? I don't know. Like in the moment right now, we're gonna release this right now. We're gonna be like, bro, that was fucking good. Nice. First one's out. We're gonna look back on this in a couple of years and say, fucking sucked. It's okay. It is what it is. From here. Yeah, exactly. We're only going up. Much love to you all. We'll catch you next week. Until then, alla prossima. Ciao.